Hi everyone, and welcome to the Tarot Circle. I'm Ali, and it's the 24th and the 25th of September today, depending on whereabouts you are in the world. And today I am joined by my lovely co-hosts. We've got Barbara, Kaila, and Lynn. How are you, ladies? What's happening? Anything to
Busy
report?
week, busy
Yeah,
week, busy
busy?
week. This entertainment is picking up in Florida and all over, and just been really, really busy. It's hard to stay focused, because you got learn songs, learn these lyrics, and this bride wants that, and that birthday person wants that. So I've been kind of under pressure, so I have to stay focused and grounded.
How's your garden doing, Kyla?
Quite good because we've had some rain. We're just getting to the end of that nice period before it gets too cold. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a few more days of sun before that comes in.
How's your menagerie, Lynn?
Everything's good. Garden's
Right.
coming to an end. I've been taking down herbs and getting them drying for the winter that are left over that I haven't made into tinctures and whatnot. So
Have you made anything new and interesting this week?
I was just finishing up a licorice root tincture
Ooh,
that just went in as we were coming on
beautiful.
earlier. So
do.
I've got a few that I've got that'll be going, but
I always have licorice root in my tea because I love the flavor. So I'll imagine it probably come out a little bit like the star anise one in terms of flavor.
I bet it does, or at least in the smell for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's epic, that one. I love it.
Really
Right.
similar.
Yeah. So if you so what are we here for? We're here to pull cards.
What are we here for?
We're here to pull cards on important subjects that we just don't know what's true or what's not anymore, because for sure the mainstream media doesn't tell the truth most of the time, and all alternative media, who knows? Who the hell knows? So, but we have our cards. We have our cards, which hopefully will tell us the truth, and we have our intuition. So we have also a Facebook page, and we have a Rumble channel. And if you like anything that you see today, please do like us on this particular channel that you're seeing us on, or the other channels as well. That'd be really helpful to grow our little community. And first of all, to get us all started, before I talk about what we're going to be talking about today, or what we're going to be asking, I can't talk today, asking questions on, let's clear the energy. Kaila, Lynn, let's go.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. For today's meditation, we recognize that a lot of people are having these different symptoms happening. A lot of energetic upheavals, upgrades, and changes are happening in the world today. Some people have been having new physical symptoms that at times are quite uncomfortable, and others are having deeper dreams or even trouble sleeping. So whatever is happening is being felt energetically by many. Let's take a few moments to ground ourselves in that godly protective energy to help us navigate these times while staying connected to the highest source of godly wisdom. As we connect to the highest vibration of white light, we can visualize the color violet coming in through the crown chakra at the top of our heads and filling our entire body. As we step into that divine spiritual connection with the highest vibration of light, we ask for that connection to remain constantly, and everything else must leave now. Over to you, Lynn.
Nice. Okay, so first question, Puff Daddy, P Diddy, Sean Combs, whatever his name is. He's been in the news a lot. He was in the news, first of all, was it back in like April or something when he was arrested at his house, and now he's been arrested again. And there's been all these videos hitting the alternative media about his parties, and there's lots of talk about what goes on at these parties, and specifically there's been a lot about Justin Bieber and the fact that he was looking after, or he was his guardian for a time, and then it goes on to just videos of Justin Bieber and the fact that he's abused and basically being passed around like a passy around thing, and then talks about all the songs that Justin Bieber kind of made, which highlights kind of the abuse that he probably underwent at the hands of other kind of entertainment industry people, should we say. So my question here is, what is the purpose of all of this coming out now? Because it seems that with all of these parties and everything, everybody in the entertainment industry is being shown to be not a great person, right? I mean, I'm not sure there's anybody even left, because I think that they all kind of were at these parties at some point. So my first question today is Puff Daddy the domino that makes all of the entertainment industry fall, so that it brings awareness to exactly what happens in the entertainment industry and how these people get famous? So that's my question. Who wants to pull on that one?
I'll pull on it.
All right. Okie dokie.
All righty. We want to know. We want to look at
let
if,
our entertainer pull on the entertainer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. But yeah. I guess I'm sort of an entertainer. A lot of people. I go to different parties, and oh, you're the entertainer. I said, yeah, I'm the entertainer. I'm the entertainer. What are you gonna sing today?
Didn't you meet him, Barbara? Didn't you meet him years ago?
No, I never
No,
met
it wasn't
him.
Puff. Oh, okay.
No, I met Pharrell,
Okay.
and then John Legend. And
Oh
then
yeah,
some
how's
other.
he? Because he's
Huh?
isn't he really small?
He wasn't small that night. He must have had on some heels because he was just as tall as me, or maybe taller. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, maybe he wore heels, because some of them wear heels. Like Prince used to wear
Yeah.
heels. And
There's
we were actually at a Prince concert when I met him.
there's also been that video going around that I've seen a lot. I guess you guys have seen it too, about John Legend and Chrissy Teigen, and they were talking about their Obama party thing, or what they did with the Obamas at the party. So yeah, I mean, and
her old tweets are coming back out too. Her inappropriate tweets about kids and stuff like that have been shown back up again.
Yeah, I mean, that's just awful, isn't it? And yeah, so I think, I mean, by connection, all of these entertainment peeps are connected to people in governments, aren't they? It's just like everybody that's quote unquote famous is connected, and I feel they all have to sell their soul at some point, don't they?
Well, some type of compromise. Not everybody does it, I think, because it depends, I guess, on which level you want to get to.
Yeah.
And if you want to go higher, it's like, we'll take you higher, just what you're willing to do.
Yeah.
I think that's basically what it is. So, I mean, that's the impression that everybody's getting. Okay, I got it ready.
Yes, we're ready.
It is. I got a check mark. It is on. We got to turn down.
Is it on like Donkey Kong?
It's on like Donkey Kong, girl.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Wow.
So, How did you
Mm.
reframe that question? Is he going to
So
be the first
yeah,
domino? Is that what you said?
yeah, is he going to be the domino that makes all the famous people fall, or makes us aware of what on earth they've been up to?
The first impact that I get when I look at these cars, I don't think he's necessarily going to be the first domino per se, but he definitely is. This is definitely to make a lot of people shake in their boots.
Mm,
That's what I'm getting from the whole thing.
mm,
Eventually, down the line, you see with the Five of Wands and the Tower over there to the side, something, some type of event, like a big traumatic event's going to come out that's going to probably put them against each other if it's not happening already. But something is going to happen in the future where there's going to be a tower moment,
mm.
and people are going to be fighting. That's internal fighting. That the Five of Wands, internal fighting. So they might be putting each other against. This is just like probably the beginning of the end of the beginning of revealing who these people, these adored people who we really love and look up to and love their songs and everything. We just really didn't know, and now it's getting revealed. This is what I'm getting from that. What are you all getting?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like with that magician at the bottom that it's, again, it's, as Janine would say, part of the movie, and
Mm-hmm.
he's probably been taken off already. And I think with that Six of Cups, I feel in the future we're just going to be so protective of children, because we're going to be aware of how much children have been abused in the past.
Probably want to use a different word here on YouTube.
Yeah, I was just thinking that small people.
Yeah, little ones. Yeah.
Small people.
Yeah.
What do you get with that Six of Pentacles at the bottom?
So we actually have two cards that sort of suggest kindness, right? The two sixes right next to each other, which is
Yeah.
quite interesting.
Mm.
To me, that Five of Cups in the past is the dominoes falling, as you said. But it's interesting that it's in the past. It's as if it's happened already, but it's not totally done because we still have two cups at the back there. And with that, Devil card is definitely drawing attention to what's been happening. Yes, part of the movie playing out, but for sure, there's a lot of people running scared with that Six of Swords there, as if some people are trying to jump boat, because they don't want to get caught in any of it or whatever they may have been involved in. And I agree with Barb with the inner conflict. There's a lot of inner conflict happening, but for sure the Tower moment is coming and revelations are coming.
Yeah, and with that Six of Swords as well, ultimately it'll move us away from all of this crap, that this won't be, part of the norm anymore. What do you guys get for the Queen of Pentacles in the middle? Sorry, Lynn.
Wait, the Nine of Swords is probably everybody that's on that list worrying about everything coming out too.
Yeah, they're shaking in their boots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the Nine of Swords already by itself it's worrying. It's
right.
It's an awful feeling to have. It's troubling you, and then to be aspected with the devil, that's even that's even in the worst way.
And then that's just all the bad stuff that happened at those parties in particular. I mean, that's not even going to touch what's happened at other places.
Ally, what did you say? You said something about the Queen of Pentacles?
Yeah. What do you guys get from the Queen of Pentacles in the middle there?
I get that as being, all of it was for fame and money and riches. And so in the environment is all of the stuff that they did, and the reason being for money, being famous and all of that. That's what I'm seeing.
What I get with the Queen of Pentacles is Queen of Pentacles, she's like a manifester. So she puts forward her foot and she knows that she's going to manifest something. So I'm getting whoever's making all of this happen on the media, they're kind of making the people get worried. The other celebs get worried even more. I think they're putting their foot out there to make it happen. It's kind of like the magician that makes things happen.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
and there could be someone specific that could, be fulfilling that Queen of Pentacles kind of role, who is doing that. But it feels like, I mean, for sure it feels engineered. It feels like, it's for the good, obviously. But yes, yeah, I think you're right. It could be being done by someone who's like a Queen of Pentacles person. Do we have any more questions on that, or does that kind of sum it up? Anyone else? Any more questions?
That basically looks like they're putting it out there now again to really kind of scare whoever's involved or whoever knows something. Because when it first came out in March, it was kind of like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, they got him, and this and that, and then they kind of let it go. And they're probably
Yeah,
like,
but
okay.
he flew to Florida. He went to his place in Florida, so they never actually arrested him. Because remember, there were pictures of him supposedly bicycling down to Miami, right? Isn't his place
Yeah.
down there? Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is actually the first time he's actually getting arrested.
Right. And it's
So now they
interesting,
took
we had 3 6s in that reading, so
Yeah.
it's the 6s come after the 5, so it's like after a stalemate of stagnation, we're seeing movement now. So hopefully
Yep.
things go through much faster.
Was it 3 6 that we had? Yeah.
Yeah.
We
You
had
had
the
on the
3
bottom of
6s,
your
yeah.
deck, you had the 6
Yeah.
Yeah.
swords, the 6 of pentacles, and the
Yeah.
6 of cups.
So
Yep.
Mhm.
sixes get a
Six,
bad
six,
rap.
six.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh
saying.
yes,
People,
that's
sixes,
true.
sixes get a bad rap because people think it's the devil and think it's evil.
Mm.
But if you look at
It's not.
numerology,
It
it's
means
actually
love.
resolving. Because look what
Mhm.
he's given. He's a 6. He's given to the poor.
Mm.
This is a 6. They're happy little kids giving gifts to each other, and this is like moving out of troubled waters. And so that's basically how it happens. They take what is good and flip it,
Right.
and
And we
make
did
everybody
have the
think it's
devil in the reading, so
Yeah.
it's like now this reading is flipping that devil for the better.
Yeah.
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 So I don't buy that thing about sixes and 666. I used to be scared of those. And I was like, 666. No.
So
Anyway, so we'll keep our eyes open on that one, huh?
So
Mhm.
on that note, because we've got a lot astrologically happening at the moment. So Pluto went back into Capricorn beginning of September, and it's going to stay there until 19th of November. And it's currently at the anaretic degree, which basically means that everything bad about Capricorn is being kind of, shoved out there, as it were. And we've also got an eclipse next week on the 2nd of October. And it's the second eclipse because we had one at the full moon as well. And so we've got a number of things that have been happening. Some astrologers have been, saying that's good, that, crazy stuff is going to probably happen, over this Pluto and Capricorn period. And I think Pam Gregory was saying we haven't got long for all of this stuff to happen before Pluto leaves Capricorn. So, what literally less than 2 months. So let's see whether something is going to happen, as it were, over the eclipse period next week. Anyone got any more specific questions, or should we just do an overview on that?
Yeah. What are the dates? It went into Capricorn the 1st of September?
I think it was the 2nd, Lynn, do you remember?
I do not remember. My brain is mush right now.
I know it leaves on the 19th of November.
Yeah, I think that's right.
That's
Let me see if
all I
I've
know.
got. Yeah, let me see if I've
see.
got Meg's charts.
Well, I'm going into Mother Google. Mother Google, Father Google, and it says Doesn't give me a straight answer right at the beginning, so.
It
Doesn't
says
give me the date.
September 1st to November 19th.
Okay,
There you
first. Okay, all right.
Okay, I see it now, yeah, September
Okay.
1st.
So,
Okay, well, it's on November 19th, okay.
so just an overview of things
We want an
to
updated
expect.
view on Capricorn going Pluto going retrograde, or are we polling on the eclipse right now?
I was planning to do the eclipse, just because
Okay,
it's
so
you know,
general
closer in
overview
time.
of what can be expected with the eclipse energy,
Yeah,
whatever.
it's gonna kick things off or whatever. Because someone else was saying that they felt that things have changed since the last eclipse. I don't know whether you guys have felt that, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, with a
I felt something, yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, I think we all felt something.
Yep.
elevation stuff.
And we've been, yeah, having some symptoms, physical symptoms, dreaming, all of that too.
Crazy dreams. Yes.
Crazy dreams about celebrities and stuff, and
Yep.
yeah.
Barbara, did you ever remember who said that about celebrities coming into our dreams?
I can't remember who it was. I cannot remember,
Okay.
but it was somebody that we like. I can't remember.
Do you want to pull or shall I pull on this one? I don't mind.
Go ahead, Ali.
All right, okay.
So basically, when Pluto goes into Capricorn, so Capricorn
already
is
there.
yeah,
But we're
so
pulling on the eclipse right now.
yeah. But I want to ask, since we were talking about that, I just want to know
Mm.
when it does go into Capricorn, like in
It
general,
is.
when Pluto, yeah, it isn't so that means that Capricorn basically is kind of like a, I don't want to offend anybody, like a negative type
It's
of
a
sign.
malefic. It's a malefic. Yeah.
So, but when it goes into Pluto, it gets magnified. Is that what basically what happens?
I don't know that Pluto magnifies Capricorn because but Pluto is also considered a malefic, and you're at the 29 degree, so it's the last degree. It's just going to be a lot of stuff that's not going to be able to be hidden anymore that comes out, I believe, is the biggest.
What did Meg say? Do you remember what she said about it going into just some crazy stuff going on? She said so, like madness.
All kinds of things could happen. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
and then
but
we're adding the eclipse season in the middle of the retrograde, you know. So she had a good chart. I thought I had a picture of it somewhere, but I can't find it off the top of my head in my files real quick. I'll keep looking for it when Allie posts her cards. I'll see if I can find, I think I copied it.
So basically, we want to know what the impact of the eclipse is going to have in this period of time with all the craziness already going on.
yeah, I've got
Okay.
I've got big cards today. I've got my just standard Rider-Waite pack. So I pulled two cards upside down and I thought I'd leave them there, but I'm going to just flip them around, which is kind of interesting. How Janine pulls upside down cards, she says that it's just more attention on that specific card, and some tarot readers read them differently in a slightly negative way. But I'm going to do how Janine did and just put more attention on those particular cards today, because that's what I feel like needs to be done. And just yeah, go on. Sorry, go on, Bob.
I'm sorry. I think she just says there's like a blockage of that energy instead of it being straightforward.
A bit of
like
stuck energy, yeah.
So, what can we expect? I mean, you've got that magician card again, haven't we? Now, is that magician card about events that are happening around this eclipse, or are eclipses man-made? I don't know. That's interesting.
That's a good question.
And we've got that Two of Pentacles in the future. So playing with a couple of options. the, with the sun there, it looks like everything will be okay, but note that it was upside down. So it could be that it will definitely be okay, or it will be okay, but it might take a little bit longer to get there.
Is this a solar or a lunar?
It's a solar eclipse, I believe.
So the
Yeah.
sun did come out, and look at the sun upside down. So the sun did come out. We're reading about a solar eclipse, and the sun comes out upside down. And there's a magician.
And I'm noting the Three of Swords, which is just a heartbreak card, isn't it? So I feel that, again, there's going to be things coming out, words, and things that will just basically hurt and upset people. It's all by design, with that Three of Pentacles in there. And again, already talked about the Magician card. You know, we could also talk about the little ones as well, with the sun there and the Page of Pentacles. I don't really want to talk about too much about that on YouTube, but I'm sure we can fill in the blanks ourselves, that this is going to be a new start for children. I think I said that in that previous call. Like, when all the crap comes out, we're gonna look after our kids just that little bit more. And then you've got the Five of Wands again. You've got the Nine of Cups, which was upside down, and you've got the Five of Swords. So and again, we've got the Six of Pentacles. You know, I think that ultimately everything will be as we want it to be, with that Nine of Cups. Just like we saw before, some of the things that will come out, like, I feel with the Three of Swords in this case, it's a very media related to, we're going to learn about these things, we're going to hear about these things, it's going to upset us, and it's going to cause you know, upset. It's infighting is what I kind of get there. And, you know, again, with those Five of Swords, you know, I never get a good feeling about that card. You know, there'll always be something that's just not good. It's all a bit gloomy with those grey skies. But yeah, ultimately it will all come good, especially with that Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. But I just feel there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot potentially that could happen, and they're just playing with it. What was everyone else see there?
Kaila, Lynn, you have something?
I agree with most of what you were saying about the information coming out and the little ones, because we can see that. I think there's certain agreements happening that are meant to shed light on what's been happening behind the scenes. I think they are balancing a few different ways to bring that information out with that Two of Pentacles. And yeah, we do have a bit of stuck energy with those two cards coming reversed. So yeah, I think it's going to continue as it's been going, more of the show being played out, and inner fighting, inner conflict coming. So it's a time to stay grounded again. I pretty much agree with you, Ally. What about you, Barb and Lynn? Anything else you want to add?
Just real quickly, since we are talking, this is the solar eclipse. I could not find the screenshot that I thought I took, but interesting that the sun is upside down. With the solar eclipses are times of new beginnings and rebirth. And and major changes can occur during the eclipse. So flipping this upside down, almost like exposing what has been happening kind of in a way, taking a different perspective from it being upside down, as opposed to, we use it as the gold or, the little ones. But this to me almost flips everything that's been upside down, all their information, adding the Pluto retrograde into Capricorn, which is supposed to be, I think, about exposing things too, if I recall correctly. So
I also, sorry.
No, go ahead.
With that Two of Swords in the background, I kind of get, if you guys seen any of that Chaos series, it's on Netflix at the moment. It's all about gods and stuff like that, and I feel that with the Two of Swords, I feel like we're being looked after.
Three of Swords.
Yeah.
No, the Two of Wands. I feel like we're being looked after from afar. I feel like, is that God, is that the universal energy, like looking after us and making sure that everything is okay? That's kind of a feeling that I get about that card at the back, or at the top.
What I get is so we're talking about the solar eclipse, and the two major arcana is the Magician and the upside down sun. So I'm thinking that maybe somebody's going to mess with it or manipulate this solar eclipse to where it's not going to be like a regular type of solar eclipse, or it might have a detrimental effect because there's the Three of Swords in the middle. And the reason why I say that is because that three of Pentacles, there's three people that's working, collaborating together, and across from the Magician. So I'm like, is there a group of people that are going to be manipulating this solar eclipse to make it come upside down the way it is? And Page of Pentacles, I mean, it'll come upside down, but it won't be probably too serious. And maybe some people will be able to see a difference in this one, because that Page of Pentacles is not a King of Pentacles, or it's just a little small page. But and the Two of Pentacles, there's some people that have probably noticed there's a little difference about the solar eclipse, or there might not be. That some people might notice it. And that Two of Wands at the top is like he's out there under the sky, looking towards the horizon. So it's like people gonna be out there probably looking at the sun, and with that Three of Swords under it, it might be even painful to your eyes to look at it under it. It's probably always painful, but this one is particular because the sun is upside down. So I'm thinking, I don't know if it's a good idea to be looking at it this time, really seriously this time.
It's there's a lot of pentacles in this deck as well, aren't there? And I wonder if that's a hint to the financial system. I don't know, God, we've been talking about that for so long, and that just keeps rumbling on, right?
Well, something's definitely happening. Yeah. So I don't know about this solar eclipse. It's with that sun upside down like that. I don't know. And that Three of Swords, it's a little scary. I don't know.
Yeah. Strange.
So it might be magnified by this Pluto and Capricorn, because that Three of Swords, that solar eclipse we'll probably get that Three of Swords effect, like pain, sorrow. It'll bring it might even rain that day, who knows? But with that rain and the Three of Swords, but there's something that's going to be painful or disturbing.
Yeah, so as you said that, Barb, what came to me looking down the middle row is, I think in the past we have been sort of sitting at a safe distance waiting to see what's going to happen with that Two of Wands. Then recently we've been hearing a lot of information coming out. So if we're right now sitting with that Three of Swords, and in the future, I think what is coming is a bit of physical, stormy upheaval, and maybe we need to just pay mind to that. This could be financial, this could be physical, just to keep, mindful that some sort of stormy conditions are coming. That's what came to me as you were talking.
Yeah, I think that's quite likely. Then that could be on a physical world thing, couldn't it? Or
yeah, because you have pentacles in the entire bottom row, which is usually physical.
What days are happening?
2nd.
October 2nd?
That must be next Wednesday.
Oh, October 2nd, and that's on a Rosh Hashanah. The Jewish holiday, holiday.
Interesting.
Rosh
Mhm.
Hashanah, yeah. And it begins at sundown. So there you go, sundown.
Mm.
Upside down.
Mhm.
Sun upside down.
Interesting.
Hmm. I
All
gotta
right.
put that on my calendar.
So next question. I've had doubts of this for a while, and there's been lots of mentions of this in kind of on the back channels about the world population, and is it actually what they say it is? Because the World Economic Forum would have us believe that we are overpopulated, and that's why, you know, we need to
Thin out the crowd. Thin out the crowd.
yes, so that we don't use up the whole of the world's resources, and you know, and this is probably why that they had like the one child policy in China and all that kind of thing. So, but I'm thinking, because apparently if you look back to like the, I don't know, 1500s or something, and you do the calculations forward, there is no way that we got from the population that we had back then to what we have now. So should we pull cards on, is the world population what we are told it is? Who would like to pull?
Yeah. I
Kaila?
like that
I can
question.
do.
Mm.
I like that question. You like that question, Lynn?
Sounds good to me. You know, we're lied to about everything. So,
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
that's true.
it'd be really interesting. Like, is there anything we haven't been lied to about? You know, that's
You know, it's almost like we've been attacked from every angle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every
yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
there's not one thing left unturned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that is amazing how it was done. Just really amazing. I mean, and it's genius. Not that I'm giving props to whoever came up, because I knew, you know, it had to be teams of people to do it. But I think it was a genius thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
Oh yeah, it's been very well thought out, isn't it? It's not been a harebrained plan.
yeah. And
But
the patience it would take to get something done like that through the generations.
because it said to get to a population of 500,000 on the Georgia Guidestones, and we still don't know what happened to the Georgia Guidestones. They just got blown up one day, didn't they? That was
I know
quite
what happened to it.
Go on.
There's a video of somebody in a car that drove by it and blew it up, and then they got in the car and drove off.
No.
Did you see that
Oh,
video?
yeah, they were showing that video, but I believe
Yeah, something
that
else
might have
happened to
been
it.
a little bit stronger than what they were supposedly dropping off.
Yeah,
It would probably
Yeah.
take quite a lot, because that was big, wasn't it? It was pretty big
boulders.
stones. Yeah, exactly.
It kind of
Um,
reminds me of those big heavy stones in England. What's the
yeah,
Stonehenge?
Stonehenge. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Stonehenge.
All right. So, question is, have we been? What is? Sorry. How did you word it in your head, Kaila?
So the question was, is there truth and integrity to what we've been told about the world population? So card number 1 would be the powers that be, and the world population would be depicted by card number 2, like what we've been told. And then coming out down to the Hermit, which is sort of is drawing that attention and focusing us on what the truth is. I see the Queen of Cups. So this person is sort of like focusing on one thing. Below it is the Page of Cups. I think that the world population is actually smaller than they tell us. I think they have overdone it by putting that, you know, with that 10 of Wands and the Magician below. Whatever we've been told is not actually truth. And it's calling for us to use our Queen of Wands energy to actually figure, and the Hermit energy to figure out what it is. Interesting, we have 2 10s here. We have
We've
quite a
had the
bit of,
Magician show up in everyone, and we've had double and triple numbers show up on every poll so far.
Yeah,
yeah, we have actually 3 10s here.
Yeah, exactly. We've got the 10 of Pentacles as well, haven't we? Yeah, 10, 10, 10.
It's a Magician night tonight. He keeps popping up.
He's
What
there.
I'm getting is that I get that 10 of Pentacles, it represents people as well. Like not only family oriented or multiples of money or but I get there's people, and you get that Hermit under that. I think there are I think there are people that are in other places that we don't know about, like other parts of the world
Mm,
that haven't been discovered yet. Because
yeah.
that Hermit is right under that people card. So it's like, why is that Hermit under the people card? Is it like because we don't know there's other people in other places or something like that? So I don't know if they're trying to open up doors to let those other people in other parts of the world that we don't know about in
Mm,
or something, or maybe they're trying to keep a certain number under the part of the world under a certain number so they can provide for the people, not provide because that word right there is in their vocabulary is kind of, but I get the feeling that there's people in other place off world, let's say.
mm, yeah. So and that could be like beyond the ice wall. It could be
Yeah,
inside the earth, right?
Yeah, inner Earth
yeah,
too. Inner
yeah,
Earth and outside the walls. Yep, exactly.
yeah, exactly. I don't get the impression that there's all these people because there's a lot of places that are populated in small different places. But
Well, they've
there's so much
moved us all into big cities to make us seem like we're overpopulated.
exactly.
Meanwhile,
Mm,
there's even just here on what we know to be our planet, there's still tons of land out there.
yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Hence that magician.
Yeah. And I think as well that's all by design as well, isn't it? It's to put us in like these concrete boxes and to keep us away from nature, because as we know, we are nature, so we need to be part of nature, and that takes away our health and who we are if we're in these places that are just surrounded by concrete the whole time.
Yeah, and it's about keeping us in that scarcity mindset, competing against each other and feeling that we have to, always make less of each other. When we have everything we need, we can just manifest that.
Well, this is it, because if you live in nature, you've got plants you can eat, you've got animals you can eat all around you. Whereas if you live in a city, there really isn't. You've got to conform to the 9 to 5 hamster wheel, haven't you? So yeah.
I
What?
think overall, once the movie is over, we're going to have a little bit of a surprise there with the two,
Yeah.
with the page of
Yeah, yeah.
cups too, as to what
Yeah.
it all is. But yeah,
Mm.
and card number one being the powers that be, they were obviously super focused on what the world population was. Maybe perhaps they didn't even necessarily really know what it was either.
Mm. And with
Yeah, I think they were focused on keeping that Ten of Pentacles hidden, like the Hermit. They're trying to keep. There's people in other places that we probably never know about, like in Antarctica or other those beyond the wall, or other places like that map that we looked at last year. We looked at a map where there was the world how as we kind of know it, and then there's this ice wall of water around it, and then there's other Earth around that, like on it beyond that ice wall. So there might be people and animals living over there. So there are probably, but I don't get that they're actually telling the truth because that magician card is just too prominent, with that. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Have you guys seen
Found it.
have you guys seen the video that the future forecasting group did, and it's about Buzz Aldrin and Antarctica? I haven't got round to
Is that their newest one they just put out?
yeah. Have you
No, I haven't seen it. I think it was just coming out over the last couple of days, wasn't it? I remember JC mentioning something about it.
yeah. So yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Haven't seen
Look
it yet,
at.
but looking forward to it.
I haven't seen it, but there's a piece of land up there on the left called Isis.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. Look at this.
Mm.
I mean, look, just think about it. Think about it. Who in their right mind would try to make up a map and make it just kind of look like this? I mean, who would do that? Who would do that? To who? I mean, why would they even make up an intricate map like this? I'm just feeling, I'm just going by my gut. I think there's some truth to these maps. Maybe not all of them, but there's some truth to these maps, man. I mean, that's what I'm just getting my gut.
Mm. I mean, the next question that comes into my head was who has created these maps and where do they get their information from? So yeah, I mean,
These are
that's
probably maps that are
different
probably
question.
done a long time ago and just was passed throughout
They could
passed
have
throughout
been, or they
history
could have even
and
been
hidden from it.
channeled. Yeah, they could have
Mm,
been channeled too.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
either channeled or they always existed, but was never revealed to the public.
Mm,
You know, there's a lot of documents and things that we don't know. Like they took out parts of the Bible, as what they say. They took parts out of the Bible
mm,
that we don't know about. So they probably
yeah, of
took parts out of the map too.
course. Yeah.
Oh, you can go look
Hmm.
at all kinds of old world maps. It's amazing how different they are and different things that
Mm.
they show.
Yeah, if you just look at the ones with Tartaria on them, and then all of a sudden Tartaria doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Right, let's talk about the heart. Just a very small important organ in our bodies. And we're going to ask, so I first learned about this from Dr. Tom Cowan, who was a medical doctor and saw the light, and he talks about new biology these days. And he first, I think he's got a book on it actually, which is quite intense. I think I've read it once. I'm not sure if you guys have read any of his books.
Excuse me, Ellie. Excuse
Yeah.
me, Ellie. I don't mean to cut you off.
Mm.
Is Tom Cohen the one that was talking about the terrain
Theory,
theory?
yeah.
Okay.
He's one of those people who's very kind of vocal about terrain versus germ theory, and he has some very good
Okay.
kind of arguments around all of that stuff as well. So if anyone doesn't know who he is, it's good to kind of look him up. And I think on YouTube he's like Talking Turkey with Tom, which is quite funny. But he basically says that the heart is not just a pump, it's a toroidal field. So there are some schools of thought that we as humans are a toroidal field. So we have energy that comes out of our head, goes round and kind of comes back in our feet, as it were. And
I
there
think this is discussed a lot with the heart math group
yeah
too. I can't remember what the name of that doctor's name is that does
yeah
that too.
yeah and it links in with what they say with like the qi system in Chinese medicine. There's also, I've got a book here, and that talks about very, very similar is it polar therapy or something? Polarity therapy, I think. So yeah, there's a whole kind of thing about that. Some people think the earth, the world, is a toroidal field as well, that it's not flat, it's not round, it's kind of a similar thing. And this pattern is kind of replicated in nature as well. And so he thinks that it's a toroidal, the heart creates like a toroidal vortex, if you like. So it creates kind of kind of life, I suppose. I don't know how else to describe it rather than just being a pump. I think it does pump to a certain extent, but I think that it's not just a pump. And I've seen kind of experiments of people that have unraveled a heart, and it looks like it's kind of rolled up, if you see what I mean, which is sort of quite interesting. So yeah, let's pull on. Let's see, Lynn is shuffling away. Let's pull on is the heart a toroidal field? Let's ask that as a question and see what happens. And it was really interesting. I was actually listening to one of Tom's latest webinars this morning as I was getting ready, and he does every week. He does Q&As where people, send in questions and he answers them and all that kind of thing. And one of his questions was, have you ever asked RFK to have a chat about viruses, because RFK seems to be very much in terms of like he wants to get people healthy again, and he seems to be very anti-jib jab and all of that kind of thing. And of course, jib jabs are at the root of them. They use germ theory as to why they are in existence. So of course it makes sense, for RFK to have a good understanding of, because was RFK a doctor?
No, he's an attorney.
Oh, okay, all right. So he hasn't even got that kind of baseline kind of understanding anyway. But Tom's answer to this question, has he been in touch with RFK? Was yes, he has, and he apparently he said he met him once, and he's had a few conversations via email and phone, and what Tom basically has suggested to him is that he has a conversation, he has like a webinar or something with him about all of this, to try and see where RFK kind of sits on this fence. And apparently RFK has got a couple of books out, which one talks about the Wuhan lab leak theory. So that makes me think that he thinks that a virus does exist. And then he's got another one, I can't remember what his other, so something about that people need to follow the science or something, which just even those words, I'm not sure if that is the exact word of the title, I can't remember, but even kind of that kind of takes me back to what happened during COVID, where it's follow the science, the science is the thing that we've got to think about.
Thomas Dolby, he was ahead of everybody. He said science. Remember that song from the 80s?
Yeah.
He blinded me with science.
So to cut a long story short, basically RFK has not agreed to get on with Tom at all. So that does that makes me question RFK's what skin that's in his game, if you see what I mean. Does RFK actually really want to get people healthier, or is it a political ploy? So I think that's really interesting what Tom said. So yeah, that's just an aside, as we were talking about Tom.
He probably doesn't really been informed yet, probably. I mean, it amazes me how we know, or we appear to know some more sometimes than these people that we're kind of counting on, you know what I mean?
Well, it's what Tom said as well, is RFK apparently he's happy to have conversations with people that are informed and about this sort of thing, but he to date has refused to have that chat or that discussion with Tom. So I think that that's really, really interesting, and people can make of that as they will. Right, let's have a look at Lynn's cards. All right, so your question in your head,
it was what you were asking, is the heart
a toroidal field?
Or I asked, what else can we know about the heart? So I still think there's something missing that we don't know about. With what is the heart being the Four of the Swords. But the sun being energy, it's definitely an energetic force, probably more than we even realize. I think I have heard some stuff even that the heart is actually more of our brain as opposed to even pump. So there's so many different theories out there, which could be, there's going to be information coming in about it. It's going to be coming in. They're fighting over it a little bit. There's no definitive answer here, I don't think.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to come out. But I think it's more powerful than even what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you, Lynn. Whenever you say that, what you hear that the heart is not only maybe the toroidal type of energy coming in and out, but it's also like the brain, in the sense that it's a magnet, that basically we can make things happen, because they said if you think about things long enough, you can make it happen, because our brains are kind of like a computer and it could manifest things. But what the heart could really be is what really manifests things. The brain kind of makes us think about what we want and how we want it, but the heart could probably be the real magnet that attracts things that we want. Because because a lot of people say, you know, all you need is love, like the Beatles said. The Beatles said, all you need is love, and that really is like the powerful thing. So it would not surprise me if the heart was really more than just a pump. It's what manifest, what makes things manifest. That's what I think. And with that Four of Swords, it looks like, yeah, that Four of Swords is something is not revealed yet. Yeah. And then that sun, look at the sun. The sun reminds me of the solar plexus, like the heart can really be the solar plexus. Because they say, you manifest things, you make things, you feel it in your gut, and then it comes out, and it may be just the heart. And that eight of wands over there, that looks like energy just coming out from the sun. Because so I'm thinking, and then you have the hermit up there, that's deeply soul based. So if you pull cards on a question like the heart like that, and you have the sun and the hermit, that's some powerful stuff. Powerful.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more powerful than what they're saying, I believe.
I think the two of you nailed it. Those cards are so accurate. I think with that sun, you can see like literally that heart area carrying that light. Yes, the head too, but the heart is really illuminated there. And then with the Seven of Wands, I think the answer is that whatever it is, it's so unique that it's way more than we have been told. And it's even way more than just that toroidal field. So with this specific Two of Swords below that sun, there's something there that we're still not seeing, because she has this veil across her eyes. It's something that we just haven't figured out that yet. But I think Bob may have put that extra bit in, where it's sort of like that energy center that really draws things to you, whether it be manifesting or opening that heart to then reach that spiritual power that they don't want us to reach, because they don't want us to know this power that we have, right?
Yeah, because it hasn't heart math said, and I can't remember. It's like the electromagnetic field of the heart comes out like, I'm going to say 2 meters, but it might be more than that, and I can't remember exactly what
That's
it is.
about 6 feet, so that's probably about right, which is why they wanted us separated longer than further apart than 6 feet. Because when we come together and our toroidal fields intermix, it makes us even more powerful.
Yeah, and I think there's so much that we don't know about how our bodies work, and old allopathic medicine reckons it's got everything nailed, and it knows how we work and all that kind of thing, but they learn how we work from dead people. How on earth can you learn how we really work from chopping up a dead person? It's just,
I think that's a decoy, actually. I think they're telling us that they're learning how the body works by working through dead people, so they'll throw out energy over there. But I think there's knowledge and experiments and everything going on.
There probably is people down below.
With live people. If you put somebody under a certain type of pressure, or they're scared or something like that, like that mother that the baby was under the car, she lifted up the car. I don't know how true that is.
Adrenaline.
But I've personally seen people in horrible situations have a strength and a velocity that they couldn't have when, or you don't see it when they're just normally sitting down. So I think that let's say the powers that be or the powers that shouldn't be, have experiment, and they have knowledge on alive people, but they make us think that you got to cover up a dead person and see what's going on with that. What sense is that? I mean, I guess it could give you some information, but I don't think it's the major information that they really know that we don't know yet. And that's that four swords there.
And we are electromagnetic, energetic beings. And if you try and ignore that fact, then you're a little bit silly in my book. But because, you know, anyone just has to have acupuncture, and you realize that that's getting rid of blockages in your energy channels, right? So, you know, how else does acupuncture work? You know, it's not just, oh, I'll stick pins in you and you feel better.
And think about it. Think about it. If a person is kind of like dying, and you can actually jump a person like you do a car. Like you get the cables, the car's not working, you can jump the car, and the car comes and you start the car. You could actually jump a person. That's what they do when they put that thing on their chest. And so it's got a lot of energy running through our bodies. Yeah. So and if you think about the heart, this beats, it's like, what's making the heart beat? It's like everybody's walking around with this heartbeat, even little puppies walking around with a little heartbeat. So that there's something that there's more to it than what they're telling us about energy in the heart.
Do you know when I had my singleton, I actually bought a stuffed animal, and it came with a little electronic thing that you put in it that had a heartbeat. So my singleton felt like she had other puppies around with her.
Oh, cute.
Well, how about that? And how did she react to that?
She was great with it. So I mean, her mom didn't leave her side either. So she had her mom and she had the other puppy. So
so there's definitely something to that.
And I think that from that answer there, you know, there's a whole kind of rabbit hole we could go down about different things about what we are and who we are. We could probably do a whole show on that.
That's a whole video, right? A whole video.
A whole show.
And that goes back to DNA and strands and how many do we really have? Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
And even is DNA a thing? You know, that's that whole is an atom a thing, you know. So let's pull on that later, because I want to get on to Lynn's 2-week pool today, because we haven't done it on this show for a while and I'm missing it.
All right.
Let's have a look. Who's looked at this in advance? Anyone? I had a quick look.
I looked a little bit today.
You haven't been around for a while, so
yeah, that's true.
Girl?
Well, the first thing that I saw was that there was a lot of coins.
Yeah, I know. When I was flipping them over, I was like,
pentacle. So, I mean, is that, again, just like what we were saying before, is that an indication of the financials? What's going to happen? But, you know, I always love it when the strength card appears, because nothing can be ever bad with the strength card. And the Knight of Wands, you know, bringing it in pretty quick. I mean,
King, that's the king.
Oh, sorry, King. Sorry, King
Wands. Yeah.
Well, he's a bit more. He can be a bit more fishy, right? What are the cards on top? Can you talk about what the meanings are of? We've got a little kitten up there.
Falseness. You have a pathway.
The butterbox.
A woman with a key. It's. I believe this represents like secrets. You have the key that holds, or even to knowledge. You know, depends on how you want to interpret it. The moon. Abundance. The white buffalo, bison.
It looks like we're getting closer and closer to that either nation or worldwide
I like
financially.
how this Knight of Wands has the bear. It would be interesting because there's they call it the bulls and the bears when they're talking about the stock market.
Mm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Peanut coins got a lot of coins in there. Now, if you look at, I get two different. Now, you can read these cards in two different ways. At least what came to my mind right now. You can read all the top cards one after the other, and it kind of reminds me. Bad point, not so.
Yeah.
So,
There
because
is no
it
point to
depends on. What did you say, Ellie?
that just with the spat point, so not, it just made me think there's just no point in arguing.
I had a little spat. Oh, there's no point in that. So not. But I know there's no rules in reading the cards, and I know how you put them out, Lynn. And by the way, these are nice cards. I don't know if I've seen these before. Probably
Yeah,
once.
there's
Oh,
some
yeah, you
new
have.
ones here.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're very, very
I
nice.
just haven't used this tarot deck for a couple of weeks because I was using my my gilded. But no.
And
We've been
when you
had
pull the
cards, these specific cards before, some of them.
yeah, exactly. They're new to
Yeah,
me.
in
For
our
some of them are new.
polls.
So when you pull these cards, Lynn, do you like just get the deck and then you do the coins, and you did the King of Coins, and then you did the Six
no,
of Coins,
I
and
go from the Knight over left to right.
you go left to right. But you shuffle the deck, right? And then you put them out.
Oh yeah. I'm asking,
Yeah.
for guidance in what the next 2 weeks, how we can best navigate, or what we need to know about what we might be able to expect over the next 2 weeks. And then
Okay, so
I
you
ask for
shuffle
additional
them.
cards from the Oracle decks and the dice.
Okay, so you just shuffle them and you pull them after you ask. So usually when you do the 2 weeks, sometimes I take the top card on the left, like the cat, and then I read the King of Coins. But tonight, for some reason, it's making me go
It's a knight
read the
underneath. It's a Knight of Coins
the Knight.
underneath.
The Knight, yeah, the Knight of Coins. So tonight is making I'm pulled to go all the top cards and then all the bottom cards. Like all the top
Go
cards remind me of all intuitive things that we have to do. Like a cat is intuitive, that lady with the key is intuitive, the moon is intuitive. So it kind of, and then your pathway is intuitive, kind of reminds me of which path you have to take with your intuition. And it reminds me of use your intuition and open up to your intuition. If you're using it yet, open up to your intuition, look for your path, look for your key, go within for that pathway, the moon. And it's more important more now than ever to use your intuition now the bison, I would put him down at the bottom with everybody else with all the coins. Because if it's abundance, because you have the Knight of Coins, you have the Six of Coins, you have the King of Coins. So it just reminds me of tangible things that we can achieve, that we can continue to achieve. So go within deeply in your intuition, and also so you can manifest what you want and what you need to manifest in these next 2 weeks. That's what that reminds me of. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Kaila, what were you getting?
With this read now, usually I don't go first for the financial system, but this one that came to me, and what I'm seeing is like a slower movement with that Knight of Coins and the pathway card. It's interesting when I read what the meaning was. So from these cards, I see the financial system coming into play, and whatever is happening is needed for the end game of balancing things out and revealing the falsehood that's been behind it. I'm seeing that we will need to take the higher ground through some upcoming storms, prepare, use your intuition, but also how we look at things will determine how we experience how it unfolds. Keep in the abundance mindset and trust we will be provided for. Creating our own pathway to abundance is in focus. This pathway card is quite interesting in itself because it can mean something that takes time. And it says even up to 2 years. Now, whether this is 2 years that started in the past or 2 years starting from now, I'm not sure. But it says that things can't be forced and it must take its own time. However, there's a light showing at the end of the pathway. So this card is urging us to have patience, and with the Six of Pentacles just below, I get that it has to do both with the financial system as well as creating a new and better world, which has meant a lot of hard work and time and energy put into it. The journey, however, is covered in butterflies in that pathway card. So a lot of growth and transformation is happening along the way. Card number 31 is a very intriguing card too. It speaks about, don't get, it tells us that, it kind of tells us why we haven't been getting direct answers sometimes when we ask questions about world events, I think. It says not everything is ready to be known yet by everyone. And also the secrets will be revealed when people have earned the ability to know. Not everyone will earn that ability to know either. So that was quite interesting when I read the meaning of that card. The dice to me says things are not as they seem. Some people will sit in disappointment, but it's asking us to keep focused and to keep hope with that, I think, what looks like a dove. So that's what I got.
I think that's definitely a dove. I was kind of reading the pathway with the cat saying falseness, and the lady who's, she's got that box and the key is hidden, but you have the key of it because the Queen of Coins is right underneath it, and she's a good manifester, right to the point, right? So the pathway could go one way or another too, even though it's not showing a fork in the road. I just felt like you almost had two parallel cards on either side, because the cat, yes, is very intuitive like she is too, but it's almost as if with falseness on the cat, it could take you down the wrong path. So, but yeah, the rest of the abundance and everything else, but we have our intuition, and this with the strength card, it's there to let us know we have all these abilities. We just have to, go within and get them and find them.
Yep. Nice.
But yeah,
Well said.
I giggled with the coins. I was like, oh, look at all these. Yeah, and I don't necessarily always go financial either, but with 3 in a row like that, it was like, okay.
Yeah. It's just it's dragging out this whole financial crash thing, isn't it? I mean, it's all,
well, everything is.
Yeah, this is true. This is very, very true. On that note, have you got a song for us, Barb?
Do I have a song? Well, with all that financial goodness that's going to be coming through, we're going to be rejoicing, right? And we're going to be celebrating. So, whenever, I guess the crash is going to be bad for some people, but good for others. But it's going to be a time of rejoicement and a time to celebrate. So I would say, celebrate good times. Come on. There's a party going on right here, a celebration that lasts throughout the year. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna celebrate and party with you. Come on. Celebration. We're gonna be celebrating.
Yes, indeed. It can't come soon enough at the moment, can it? Right. Okay. Anything else, ladies? Anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to pull on before we leave?
Just everybody have a good 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I just like to say, whoever's watching our videos, thank you for being and watching our videos. And if there's something that you want us to pull on, please write it down in the comments or get in touch with our channel, and we will see what we can do.
Or on the Facebook community.
Facebook community, exactly. Remember the Facebook community. We have a nice, beautiful community that's building over there too. So you can get in touch with us there or comments. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribe, and sharing.
And thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing and all of that stuff, and writing comments and all that kind of thing. All right, guys. We shall see you in a couple of weeks. See you later. Bye.
Bye.